everybody, thanks so much for joining me again. A little bit of a dank, chilly morning this morning, so let's do something sort of to try and energize things a little bit. So starting off, feet pointing to the front, maybe just lift the toes up, pop them down, take the heels off, put them back down. Start off just really rubbing your hands together nice and briskly. Just get a little bit of that energy flowing. And then maybe rub your hands all the way down the front of your legs and all the way back up, all the way down the sides, nice and energetic, back up, right down the backs and back up. Rub up the outside of your arm and down, up the inside and down, up the outside of the other one and down, maybe right across your tummy, right round to the back, all the way around to the front, all the way around to the back. Good, okay, standing nice and tall, just walking through the feet, so one heel off and then the other one fairly briskly. Knees just going forwards. And then float the arms out to the sides. I think really stretching through the fingertips. And just switch to alternate knee lifts. So top of your head lengthening up towards the ceiling. Sore shoulders, you don't have to do the arms out. One knee coming up, popping it down, other one. So a little bit of balancing going on. See if you can keep that imaginary straight line from your head to your nose, to your chin, down to your belly button. That line is staying vertical. Don't worry about sort of clicking and crunching at the front of your hip. That's great. Maybe next time you're on one leg, stay on it. Take the arms right up towards the ceiling if you can. Bring one arm all the way down and back up. And the other arm right down and back up. Both arms all the way down. Switch legs. So really feel the bottom of your foot on the floor. Press into your foot. Fold the knee up. One arm up, other one up. Bring the first arm all the way down and take it back up. Other one all the way down and back up. Both arms down. Pop the feet down. Legs a little bit wider apart than your hips. Just going to do a roll down towards the floor. So chin down to your chest, draw in the tummy, roll down. So let your head dangle, let the arms dangle. Right down, draw the tummy in when you're at the bottom, tuck your tail underneath, unfurl all the way back up. Head coming up last. And going down again. So draw in the tummy, let the knees bend, roll down. Scoop in and curl all the way back up. So next time you could make it a diagonal, so you could do right hand to your left foot and then let that left hand go right up towards the ceiling. Turn and look at your left hand. Draw in again, unfurl back up. Left hand to your right foot, right hand up towards the ceiling. Scoop in, unfurl back up. Right hand to your left foot, left hand up to the sky, diagonally come back up, and one more, down the other side, and come all the way back up. Great, okay, little bit more balancing. How about one foot in front of the other one? So if you're very wobbly, you could slightly offset the feet. Again, really feel the bottom of your feet on the ground. Stand tall, even weight, front and back if you can. So those feeling steady, you could shut one eye. Focus the other eye on something that's not wobbling in front of you. Switch eyes. If you're feeling really steady, really brave, you could shut both eyes. And you've really got to rely on the information coming from your feet and your middle ear about what needs to be working to keep you there. Bit of a wobble then. Okay, open both eyes. Swap the feet round. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Even weight between the two. Focus on something not wobbling. If you feel steady, shut one eye. And maybe switch eyes. If you feel really safe, maybe shut both. That's great, good. Open both eyes. And come down to the mat, just lying on the mat in the relaxation position. So you're lying on your back, knees bent, head on your little rolled up towel or your block if you need to. So lying on your back, knees bent, feet flat, just let your back relax down into the floor a moment. Gentle breathing down into the tummy. Lovely, okay. Maybe take both hands behind your head so you can sort of interlink the fingers if you want to. So you're just cradling your head in your hands. Let the elbows drop right back to the floor. Just going to do a little curl up. So tuck in the chin, curl your head and shoulders up. Think of looking down over the top of the knees and release back down. So lower tummy gently drawing in first, pelvic floor muscles drawing up and in. Keep that lower contraction as you come up and release back down again. So little chin nod, elbows back and wide. You're just cradling your head in your hands. You're using that straight tummy muscle to bring you up. And release down. Okay, could add in straightening one leg. So imagine the knees are sort of pinned together. As you curl up, your foot goes up towards the ceiling. Your knees are still together. Alternate legs, curl up, straighten out through the leg. Little chin nod, curl up, legs straightening. And release down. Little chin nod, curl up and straighten. Good, and down. Couple more, tuck the chin in, curl up, straighten the leg and release down. And one more, curl up and release down. Good. Rest your head down, just gently let the neck release, really roll your head right over one way, right back over the other way. So just releasing the neck. Okay, take your arms out to the sides, so elbows about level with your shoulders, fingertips pointing to the roof. Just feel which bits of your back are on the floor. And then just let your hands drop back towards the floor behind you. So some people will get to the floor, some people won't, doesn't matter. And then take your fingers up towards the ceiling. Focus on the back of your shoulders staying down on the mat. And then you start taking your palms towards the floor. So most people won't get to the floor. If you're getting to the floor, you're probably tipping the shoulders forwards and moving actually from the shoulder girdle rather than just in the shoulder joint itself. So it's just a nice easy movement. Hands going back towards the floor behind you. Bring your fingers up towards the ceiling and think of the palms going down towards the floor. So the wrists stay straight. Just watch you don't tip the wrists forward. So keep the wrists straight. So I can only get to sort of within about 6 inches of the floor as I go forwards, and I can get to the floor as I go back. But it's going to be slightly different for anybody. Nice gentle stretch for the shoulders. Just gets those rotator cuff muscles working around the shoulder. Okay, maybe next time you've got the hands back, keep your fingers on the floor if you can. Slide them back towards the wall behind you. And then draw them back down. So elbows and hands staying on the floor if you can. And again, fingertips on the floor, slide the arms back along the floor towards the wall behind you. And come back down again. Okay, bring your arms down beside you. So, going with a leg. So one leg, fold the leg up. So you're bending at the hip, knee staying at about the same angle. Then straighten your leg up towards the ceiling, toes up towards you, lower that whole leg to the ground, draw it back in. Alternate legs, so fold the leg up first, so we bend at the hip. Straighten, lower the whole thing to the floor, draw it back in. So it's 4 separate movements. Bend the hip, your back staying in that neutral position, so you're not flattening your back into the ground. Straighten, toes up maybe, lower the whole leg to the ground, draw the leg back in. Other side, fold up, straighten, lower to the floor, draw back in. Good, so remember that. Take both arms to the roof. So fingers pointing to the ceiling. First of all, drop your elbows out to the side. So elbows are level with your shoulders. You're making like a sort of T shape, but fingers pointing to the roof. Then let the hands drop back to the floor like we were doing earlier. Slide your fingers along the floor towards the back wall. Bring the arms back up towards the ceiling. So it's elbows back, hands back. Slide your fingers along the floor towards the back wall. Draw the arms back up. Good. Okay, so let's put the arms and the legs together. So if you get into a muddle, don't worry, just keep doing something. So elbows back, fold the knee up. Hands back, straighten the leg. Slide your fingers towards the back wall as you lower the leg. And then slide the leg back up, fingers back up towards the roof. Elbows back, fold the knee. Hands back as you straighten. Slide your fingers along the floor towards the back wall as you lower. Arms back up to the roof, slide the leg back in. Elbows back, fold the knee. Hands back as you straighten. Slide the fingers along the floor towards the back wall as you lower. Everything comes back into the middle. Hands back, fold the knee. Hands back as you straighten. Slide your fingers along the floor as you lower. Everything back up into the middle. One more. Elbows back, fold the knee. Hands back as you straighten. Lower the leg, slide your fingers along the floor. Slide the leg back in. Bring the arms right back down beside you. Feet fairly close to your bottom, just going into a spine curl. Press into your feet, curl your bottom up. Breath at the top, roll back down again. So even weight through your feet. Really get that curling feeling. Think of your back like that nice string of pearls. You're coming up one pearl at a time. As you go back down, you're placing that precious necklace back on the mat, one pearl at a time. Even weight through your feet. Curl up. Nice straight line at the top. Knees, hips, ribs. Roll back down again. Just watch you're not using the arms and the elbows. So think of floating your arms on sort of a feather bed underneath you. One more. Pressing into the feet, curl up, roll all the way back down. Bring the legs down a little bit flatter. Take the arms up towards the ceiling, all the way back up to the top. We're going to do a full roll up if you can. If you can't, don't worry. You could grab a hold of your trousers and pull yourself up. So bring the arms up, tuck the chin in, roll right up. Sit nice and tall at the top. Maybe pop your hands underneath your thighs. Lean back a little bit. See if you can just balance on your bottom there. So you're just balancing on your sacrum. You could just gently tie a little tip forward and back. So you're at home, doesn't matter if you tip too far back or too far forward. Nobody much is watching. And then you could try straightening out one leg, draw it back in, straighten the other leg, draw it back in. Lower tummy pulled in, straighten one leg, bring it back in, straighten the other leg, back in. One more, straighten, back in, straighten and back in. Roll all the way back down, bring your knees up to your chest, across the ankles, hang on to the knees, a little bit of gentle knee rocking there. And then maybe you could just roll in a little circle. So coming up one side of your back, across the middle, down the other side, across your tailbone. And then going the other way. Nice and smooth. Great. Okay. Pop your feet back down and turn over so you're lying on your tummy. So fingertips touching just above the top of your head. So you're making a sort of diamond shape with your arms, forehead on the mat, legs out straight. Have your feet down flat if you can. If that's going to give you cramp, you could have the toes up. Otherwise, feet down flat. Just think of breathing down into your tummy. So just as you breathe in, your tummy almost presses into the mat. So this is another nice one for the shoulders. So keep the elbows on the floor. Just take your hands and forearms towards the ceiling. Hold there. And down. So you just want to watch that you're not pressing like mad into the mat with your head. It's coming from, the movement's coming from round the back of the shoulders, on the shoulder blade almost. Elbows staying, wrists staying straight again. So the hand is a continuation of your forearm. The wrist doesn't come back. So shoulder blades down your back a little bit. Keep that gap at the front of your shoulder, between the shoulder and the mat. Forearms off. Both together. Hold them up. And then down slowly. And just one more. Good. And then bring your arms down beside you. This time palms facing up towards the ceiling. Forehead on the mat, or you could put your head on a little rolled up towel or book if your nose gets in the way. We're going to do the dart. So reach your hands to your feet. Open through the front of the shoulders. You can just hover the arms about sort of side seam of your trouser level. Could add in squeezing your bottom, press your inner thighs together, press the heels together. So the legs might just float off the floor an inch or two, and your forehead could come off the floor an inch or two. Back of the neck staying long. Hold there. And release down. So reach the hands down, open the shoulders, bottom inner thighs, heels squeezing, forehead off. Hold it there. And release. And again, reach the hands down, open the shoulders, bottom inner thighs, heels, hold there.
Great. Rest down. Maybe just give your bottom a wriggle from side to side, a bit like a snake. And then hands on the mat beside you, legs apart a little bit. Just gently press into your hands, up into like a little yoga cobra. And come down. And again, pressing into the hands, coming up and down. And again, press into your hands. Peel up away from the floor. And down. And one more. And then bring the knees back in. Press into the hands, up onto hands and knees. Knees apart, about as wide as the yoga mat. Pilates mat, whatever you like to call it. Bottom all the way back to your heels. Really stretch the fingers out in front. Head down. Breathe into the back of your ribs now. Great, okay. Up onto hands and knees. Maybe bring the hands a little bit further out in front. Tuck the toes underneath. I'm just coming up into a sort of plank position. So up, toes tucked underneath. Really push the floor away from you. You're thinking a straight line. Head, bottom, out through the heels. If that feels too strong, you could lower the knees to the floor. So up and hold. Knees down. Bottom all the way back to your heels again. Big stretch through the shoulders. And again. Onto hands and knees. So if you're just doing the half plank, you want to bring your weight forwards. Press out through the hands. So straight line, head, bottom, knees. Full plank. Probably arms a little bit further forward. Toes tucked underneath. Tummy winched in hard. Really push the floor away from you. Just hold it there. Good. One knee down, other one down. Knees together this time. Bottom right back again. Nice stretch. Breathe into the ribs. Good. Unfurl back up. Come back onto your back. Knees bent, ankle of one leg onto the knee of the other one. I've just pushed that knee out away from you, so we're doing back of the hip stretch, or hold behind the thigh of a foot that's on the floor, pull that towards you. If you can't reach, you could thread your towel through there or your stretchy band, just gently pull that up. And then you could just add in, just straightening the knee of the leg you're holding on to, and releasing. And again, gently straighten that knee and release. And again, straightening and releasing. And again, straightening and releasing. Pop that foot down, uncross the legs, ankle of the one leg onto the knee of the other one. Either just push your knee away or hold behind the thigh, pull in towards you. Could add in, straighten the leg and let it bend. And again, straightening and release. And straighten and release. And again, straightening and releasing. Just one more. And release. Okay, pop the feet down. Arms out to the sides in a sort of T shape. Cross your left leg over your right. So left leg crossed over the right. Shuffle your right foot to the left side of the mat and drop your knees over to the right. So twisting stretch. Legs going to the right. Back of your left shoulder staying on the ground. You you've got areas that feel tight, see if you can sort of just direct your breath into that area. Good. Come back up. Shuffle your right foot back into the centre of the mat. Uncross the legs. So cross your right leg over the left. Wriggle your left foot to the right edge of the mat and drop both knees over to your left. Back of your right shoulder staying on the ground. And again, just breathing into any tight areas that you might find. And scoop in the tummy, knees back up into the middle, wriggle your left foot back to the centre of the mat, uncross the legs, bring the arms down, either turn onto your side, come up into sitting, or hold behind the thigh, gently tuck the chin in, gracefully roll up. So sit right up tall. If you're a little bit stiff through your back and your hips, you could have your bottom up on your yoga brick. Maybe cross the ankles. See if you can get your thumbs onto your feet and just give them a gentle massage all in underneath, right in the arch. Poor old feet have to carry our weight all day. So just really working your thumbs right into the bottom of your feet there. Lovely. Okay. And then just switch your legs over. So whichever way you've crossed them, then cross them the other way. Sit really tall. Maybe left hand reach it right up towards the ceiling. And then bring it down behind you. Palm onto the ground if you can, otherwise fingertips to the ground. Bring your right hand to your left knee. Twist and look behind you. So this time we're twisting the top half. Sort of when we were on the floor doing the knees, we were twisting the bottom half. Good. And come back into the middle. Hands on your knees to start with. Reach your right hand right up towards the ceiling. Really see if you can stretch another inch or two. And then bring your right hand behind you, either palm on the floor or fingertips on the floor. Sit tall, left hand to your right knee. Twist round. Lovely. Come back into the middle, sit tall, chin right down to your chest, round down through your back. So almost think of your forehead going down towards the floor. And uncurl all the way back up. Lift up from the hips, slide the shoulders up and really let them release. And again, slide up and let go. Thanks so much for joining me. See you again next week, I hope. Bye-bye.